Hello and welcome to the swearing-in ceremony of Congresswoman Lauren Underwood. Please join Teresa, a member of the Northern Illinois Girl Scouts and constituent from Woodstock, Illinois, in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Teresa. Now please welcome Batavia High School band student Jack to perform a rendition of America the Beautiful. Thank you, Jack. Now please welcome Congresswoman Lauren Underwood.
Good morning, everyone. I wish that we were together in person today, but I am so grateful that you could join me as I take my oath of office to serve the 14th District of Illinois in the 117th Congress. This has been a week of profound contradictions. On Sunday, I joined my colleagues in Washington to open the 117th Congress. It has been the honor of my life to serve the 14th District of Illinois in Congress, and I can't put fully into words the privilege I feel of being entrusted by our community to bring your voices and values to Congress for a second term. On Sunday, I was excited to get to work, to face the challenges that I know the next 2 years will bring as we bring much needed resources to our community and usher a recovery from the pandemic that brings us back stronger than ever. But the work of the people's business was interrupted on Wednesday by a violent, treasonous attack on the United States Congress that was incited by the President of the United States. It was a deeply dark day for our country that will stay with me and all of us forever. The attack on the Capitol, the global symbol of our republic, and an attempt to thwart our democracy in the name of so-called patriotism was an infuriating, heartbreaking, and un-American disgrace. There should be no historical sanctuary for those who ignited this insurrection. I was grateful to join my colleagues late Wednesday night in making it clear that these terrorists did not win and that democracy would prevail. The American people spoke with their ballots and in historic numbers cast their votes in a free and fair election, a sacred act of democracy that the Constitution protects. As soon as we were safely able, we fulfilled our constitutional responsibility to certify the election of President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. As we saw this week, our democracy is fragile, and norms that we once took for granted, like the peaceful transition of power, must be fiercely defended. Today, I take the oath of office here in the 14th District of Illinois and pledge to uphold the United States Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. These are not symbolic words, but a solemn oath that I take to fight for the preservation of our democracy against a real threat to its survival. Fighting for survival is something that many of us have become familiar with over the last year. As a result of the pandemic, our lives have been upended and our kids haven't been able to see friends and have critical social interaction. They're missing extracurricular and leadership opportunities, and some students are falling behind academically. Small businesses in our community have closed their doors permanently, and other businesses are on the verge of closure. Business owners have used the equity in their homes to stay open and burned through reserves. And families have fallen behind on mortgages and are scrambling every month to pay utilities and find money for prescription medication. Too many have suffered the pain of losing a loved one to this virus and not being able to be with them in their last moments or mourn their loss with family and friends. I hear you, I see you, and I'm fighting for you every day. It's been a difficult time filled with uncertainty and turmoil, and we know we have a ways to go before normalcy returns. But here in the 14th District, we look out for one another. We're resilient. We show up for each other. And in my office, we found a way to make important bipartisan legislation law. We got creative and kept in touch with one another so that you could share your views, ask me questions, and tell me your stories. And you and our community dealt with the coronavirus pandemic with so much grit and grace. It has been deeply inspiring. When the COVID-19 pandemic struck our community, I worked with my colleagues to deliver direct relief payments, mortgage forbearance options, a pause on student loans, and funding for small businesses to stay afloat. We secured funding for vaccine development and increased testing, tracing, and treatment efforts. My office works 7 days a week to help constituents stranded abroad. Constituents like Jamie Shoemaker from Geneva, who was unable to return home from Haiti after local airports were shut down in March, and worked with my office to get home safely. We supported frontline workers like Michelle from Campton Hills, who worked with our office to get her daughter a hotel room to stay in after being exposed to COVID-19. And we're not done fighting. I'm going to make sure everyone has access to a free vaccine. We need more direct aid for families, individuals, small businesses, and local services. I won't sugarcoat it. We have a long road of recovery ahead, but together we will rebuild. I am confident that we will make it through because I know the people of the 14th District are strong. For all the trauma and tragedy this pandemic has caused, there have been bright spots, communities coming together and lifting each other up in the hardest of times. Neighbors helping neighbors, nurses, grocery store workers, and other heroes putting their lives on the line to keep our community running. It is my belief and faith in the 14th District that has gotten me through the darker moments of this pandemic. And I am here today to take this oath of office because, once again, you have put your faith in me. It is humbling, an honor, and a responsibility that I don't take lightly. When I took office in 2019, I vowed to be accessible, accountable, and transparent. These values have been a touchstone for me and my staff every day as we work to serve you. We've accomplished a lot in a short amount of time, and I am delighted to share a few highlights from my first term. Since I took office, 6 pieces of my legislation have become law. Critical legislation to lower insulin costs, increase access to affordable quality healthcare, and address this veteran suicide crisis. I passed 18 pieces of legislation in the House and introduced 50 pieces of legislation. We have so much more work to do, and I remain focused on delivering economic relief and federal resources to our communities impacted by the pandemic. I'm also incredibly proud of our constituent services. I've never forgotten that my office is your office, and I'm here to work for you. We recovered $12 million in money or benefits that folks were owed, things like veterans benefits, Social Security payments, or tax returns. We delivered $1.1 billion to small businesses and communities here in the 14th who've been harmed during the pandemic. My team and I will continue to be a resource for you and any constituent that may need help cutting through red tape of federal agencies. We held 30 town halls in all 7 counties of the 14th district, hosted 16 open office hours, and had over 300 meetings with constituents. Many of those were virtual or outside and physically distanced this year. Fulfilling my promise to remain open and accessible to you has always been important, but we certainly had to get a little creative this year together so that we could come together safely. Thank you to all of you who got creative for us and were flexible and engaged. We couldn't do this work without you. Listen, I'm very proud of the successes we've had over the past 2 years. There's so much more work to do, and I am entering this second term honored by your support and energized to serve you. I'm proud to share that I was selected by my colleagues to serve on the House Appropriations Committee. Now, this means that I'll have even more opportunities to bring resources to our community and families across the United States so that people like you and places like Northern Illinois have the resources that we need to thrive. Brighter days are ahead. We will recover from this pandemic. We will protect our democracy, and we will keep showing up for one another all across our beautiful 14th district. Thank you for joining me today, and I am honored to serve as your Congresswoman. Thank you. Now, it's my honor to introduce Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman, who's generously agreed to join us today to conduct the swearing in. Judge Coleman is a judge on the United States District Court for Northern Illinois District of Illinois. She was nominated by President Barack Obama on February 24, 2010, and confirmed by the United States Senate on July 12, 2010. She's a graduate of Northern Illinois University and the Washington University of Law, the Washington University of Law. Judge Coleman, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here. And whenever you're ready, if you're ready, Congresswoman, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I,
Lauren Underwood,
do solemnly swear or affirm
that
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against
all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And
that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations, Congresswoman. I know you'll continue to do a fabulous job. It's been an honor to be here with you and your constituents today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, so much for being with us. Thank you. It's an honor for me. Well, everyone, thank you so much. We are so grateful that you took the time to be with us this afternoon. I am so honored to represent our community in the United States Congress. If you need to be in touch with our office, please do not hesitate to give us a call. You can reach us at 630-549-2190, or you can visit our website at underwood.house.gov, or on social media. I'm at Rep. Underwood on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please stay safe and take care of yourselves for the rest of the day today, and I look forward to being with you together again soon. Take good care, everybody.